Well, good afternoon and hello to everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, where the topic is Adaptive Microsoft PPM with Microsoft Project, Azure DevOps, and Jira using the Microsoft Power Apps platform. My name is Doug Welsby, and I'm the channel manager here at Microsoft. During today's webinar, attendees will be on mute and the line will not be open for questions. However, feel free to use the GoToWebinar question feature to submit questions. I will respond to these questions via email after the webinar. If for some reason you get distracted or pulled away from the webinar, no need to worry, as I will be emailing a link to the presentation once it's been posted to our YouTube channel. And with that, let's get started. Today, our teams are working everywhere, not just in the office at a corporate location. We have truly distributed workforces that are working from home, working remotely, and if not every day, then at least part of the work week. With these distributed workforces, we need greater transparency to enable communications and to get to the big picture. This need for transparency is resulting in changes in the way PMOs operate. Analysts say that by 2021, 50% of companies will integrate IT PMOs into ePMO hubs, and that 80% of companies will have an ePMO by 2023. These are trends that we're seeing as we work with our customers across North America and globally. And more teams are choosing their own tools. I'm sure many of you have seen failed efforts to enforce a single common tool set within an enterprise PMO. This has proven to be very challenging as your teams have different work approaches, differing requirements, and varied levels of project management skills and maturity. No one tool fits everyone's needs, and teams need to have flexibility so that they can work the way they want. Analysts are reporting that there is indeed a mix of tools and methodologies. 73% of companies use Agile methods for managing projects, and 69% of companies still use predictive project management, or what's known as more traditional methodologies. Our customers used to tackle project management as a strict discipline, requiring comprehensive training and strictly controlled tool sets and methodologies. Today, we're finding that customers want simple visual tools that do not require costly upfront investments in implementation and training. They need to be intuitive and functional right from the start. Millennials, soon to make up 50% of the workforce, expect this. Tools need to be powerful and functional, but they need to be easy to get started with and implemented in a short time frame. And key processes, operational, functional, administrative, and of course, project management, span the entire enterprise. The tools in use need to be available and accessible to everyone in the organization, and project management tools need to have natural, easy to understand, functional capabilities for staff both inside and outside of the PMO. Analysts report that 79% of companies need cross-functional collaboration, and 65% of large orgs will enable non-IT staff to perform these integrations by 2023. IT continues to be overloaded with responsibilities to deliver secure, organization-wide solutions, and project management often gets deferred or left to the PMO. Non-IT staff are implementing these tools, and they cannot be overly complex to deploy. So given this, we've seen numerous examples of customers who have a wide proliferation of tools across the organization. On the left, we see different functional areas of an enterprise project management office, such as demand management, project management, reporting and analysis, etc. Across the top, for the different areas within an organization, such as marketing, NPD, the project management office itself, we see how they are using a wide variety of tools to deliver on these various functional requirements. Of course, Excel's used, PowerPoint for reporting. We see project, and now we're starting to see project for the web, and of course, Agile tools such as Azure DevOps or Jira. And PMI writes in its paper, Capturing the Value of Project Management Through Organizational Agility, that a blended approach is what will enable organizational agility. Having agile techniques such as Scrum or DevOps is not the only or the best indicator of speed or flexibility. Indeed, a mix of approaches is what PMI is suggesting is the best approach. So where are you and your organization on the Agile PPM spectrum? Are you hard right with the traditional PPM space, taking on waterfall techniques such as create, select, plan, and manage? Or are you hard left with Agile PPM, perhaps exploring enterprise scaled Agile and thinking in terms of value streams and lean budgets? Or are you seeing, as we do, that being adaptive to our team's needs for both tools and methodologies is a more appropriate approach? Are you finding yourself in the middle of this spectrum already, and if not, transitioning towards that adaptive PPM type of approach? These adaptive PPM approaches enable the management of a wide variety of portfolios. Think about your organization today. Are you still talking in terms of projects and programs, which is a more traditional approach? Or are you or other teams more agile, thinking in terms of product portfolios or maybe IT service portfolios? An adaptive PPM solution means that you don't need to decide. You don't need to be one way or the other. It means that you can allow your teams to work the way they want with the tools they know and understand. And this adaptive PPM approach provides for transparency and insights, a single source of the truth, and the ability to balance your investments and resources with demand to optimize your business value, no matter how you think about portfolios. So Microsoft has taken this concept and really embraced it. We've been working with Microsoft to enable this adaptive PPM approach on Microsoft's Power Apps platform and to integrate work across a variety of work management tools from Microsoft. Whether you're using a traditional waterfall-based approach with Project Online Desktop or perhaps Project Online, or an agile environment with Azure DevOps, or maybe you're now investigating the new project for the web for lightweight project management, OnePlan will enable an adaptive PPM approach. OnePlan will provide organizational transparency, the ability to quickly adjust to a changing business landscape, and a single source of the truth for reporting and collaboration. OnePlan provides modules for resource capacity planning, financial planning, and all-up portfolio planning. These tools provide the ability to have time-phased plans, whether you're thinking in terms of resources or finances. They provide an Excel-like interface to enable getting off of the desktop tool, Microsoft Excel, for doing this planning of finances and resources outside of your PPM tool and work with an Excel-like interface directly within the OnePlan project and portfolio management environment. It's easy to implement, easy to understand and use, and yet OnePlan provides powerful functionality. And then after this planning is complete, the execution of your work is enabled with OnePlan as well. We are able to consolidate work from a variety of Microsoft tools, such as Planner, Project for the web, and of course, Azure DevOps. Not using Azure DevOps? Well, we have many customers using Jira for agile work management as well, and OnePlan also supports this. So for top-down portfolio management or bottoms-up work management, OnePlan acts as your adaptive PPM enablement platform. So before moving into a demonstration, I'll quickly walk you through some of the functional areas of our Power Apps-based adaptive PPM solution. So if you examine the life cycle that we're presenting along the bottom of the slide, we provide a demand management or ideation and project request, an intake type of approach for your enterprise PMO. Examining the projects that have been proposed, we enable you to do top-down portfolio management, to examine a portfolio of projects or new proposals that have made their way into the tool, and to do portfolio prioritization and to view this portfolio in a variety of different fashions, such as these portfolio boards that we're seeing. Part of the examination of a potential portfolio, of course, is doing financial management, assessing the potential costs for any and all of these projects. And then, of course, resource management as well, examining your resource capacity, or overlaying that with availability of those resources to better enable decision-making around which projects you have sufficient resources to deliver on. And once you get into project management and execution, of course, the theme today is work the way you want to work. So you can deliver these projects with Planner, Project for the Web, Project Online Desktop if you wish, or Azure DevOps, or as I mentioned earlier, Jira as well, and bring all of that information together using OnePlan for a single source of the reporting truth. Of course, collaboration, key to the successful delivery of all and any project, and we enable this collaborative environment using Microsoft's Teams platform. And again, part of a successful project delivery approach is handling other information related to those schedules, such as risks, issues, and changes that occur during the delivery lifecycle. Status reporting is enabled within the tool for weekly or monthly status reporting and dashboarding on the progress that's being made. And then, of course, time management, if you wish to capture effort with regards to whether or not tasks are complete, or a comprehensive timesheeting and reporting solution, all of that's available within the tool. And then finally, analytics and integrations. We enable reporting across this platform solution using Power BI and a variety of reporting capabilities directly within OnePlan, and we deliver this with 35 pre-built reports that we provide as part of a package when doing this implementation. So with that, let's move to a demonstration. I'm going to walk you through that life cycle of project management delivery as I've outlined in the previous slides. So I'll first transition into my demonstration environment, and I'll take you through some initial reporting within the tool set to show you the capabilities of our OnePlan tool layered together with Microsoft's Power BI reporting tool to provide you comprehensive reporting about projects that are in flight, being proposed, the finances, and other aspects of those plans. With our solutions, we provide these dashboards. You're provided also the source code for these dashboards. So if you wish to take this solution and the reports that we've built out, we can work with you to make changes to these, and/or you could also make those changes yourselves if you have the capabilities and the knowledge within your IT department or within your business to work with Power BI. Here we're seeing our hybrid PPM report, a summary dashboard about all of the projects that are in flight. We have information within this dashboard concerning the financials for the projects as well. So we see a report focused here in this particular view on the costs and the financial health of various projects. And of course, I could switch that view to step up a level and think in terms of program financial health as well. Finally, of course, everyone's interested in where their resources are working, where they're assigned, what the impact on those resources is, and we're able to roll up the resource workload, no matter what tool is in use, be it Project for the Web, Project Pro, perhaps you're using Planner or even Azure DevOps, and see a resource dashboard, in this case, grouped by the type of role that's being used to deliver those project tasks visible in this resource dashboard. And then finally, as I mentioned earlier, we're able to manage and track other related artifacts throughout the lifecycle of a project, such as risks, issues, or changes. So comprehensive reporting available within the tool using Power BI for a reporting solution. If I now transition over to our adaptive PPM solution, OnePlan delivered on the Microsoft Power Apps platform, you'll see in our solution, we've added dashboarding directly to the main My Workplace homepage that an individual would land on when they arrive at this OnePlan adaptive PPM solution webpage. So those same reports that we have available directly within Power BI are of course integrated directly into this solution. If I transition to another page to show you a different aspect of reporting, not reliant on Power BI, our OnePlan Portfolio Analyzer tool allows you a quick glimpse into a dashboard of projects that are being delivered within the OnePlan environment. We see here a view of a wide variety of plans grouped together by the portfolio with which they are associated. Some high-level health indicators being shown across the top to show overall health, financial health, etc., and other details about those projects to provide you rapid insight into the status of these plans and projects that are being delivered. We'll circle back to this later in the demo, but if you look carefully at this column, you'll see here that we're exposing the work management tool that's being used for the delivery of these various projects. And you'll see icons representing project for the web, of course, ADO and Jira, and then of course the integration with Teams as well, all being shown here. Now I'll spend some more time on these portfolios later in the demo, but I'll just show you very quickly that we have other ways of visualizing this same data, including board views, where in this case we're seeing the lifecycle create, select, plan, manage that we've mocked up in this demo, and the different plans and where they are in that lifecycle, or a roadmap type view to show again that same lifecycle, create, select, plan, manage, and the projects which are currently in those various phases of work delivery. So let's think about a life cycle of project management where we have project intake or new requests, and then we start to associate and deliver projects against specific portfolios or programs, and we roll up costs and benefits across those programs and portfolios for reporting and for tracking of the finances, the costs, and the benefits of those projects that we are investing in. So within our adaptive PPM solution, we've built out a series of different areas of functionality. We'll focus right now on project requests, and you'll see that these new projects then get associated with either portfolios or programs. Now those terms can easily be changed. If you don't think in terms of portfolios or programs, maybe you only use programs, we can easily eliminate portfolios from that stack. Or if you think in terms of product lines or strategic themes, changing those terms, and of course the data we're collecting about those portfolios, programs, or strategic themes is part of an implementation phase to allow us to very quickly get through and make some configuration changes to the solution to map to what your business uses and how they think for a project management lifecycle. Here we're seeing a project request board with a series of projects that have been submitted, or new proposals, if you would, for projects in the tool, active requests with project types and priorities being shown on screen. I can drill through these project requests and look at, for example, this support customers using mobile request. And you'll now start to get some insights into how we are gathering data for this project request input page, where users can go in and submit demands for new work, for new plans or projects that they deem critical to the organization. Now, it might be opened up to all users in the organization. You might limit this input page to maybe business relationship managers who are working within the various business units at your organization, and they themselves are responsible for capturing essentially the demand that's coming from their internal clients into this tool. So we've designed this tool to allow you to collect a variety of general information, name, request state, who's requested it, etc., some details and a value statement. And of course, we can expand upon this and make modifications to these pages in this project intake and project request process to map to the exact way that you're doing project intake or requests or project management within your organization. Along the top, we're presenting a workflow or a business process flow to show you that We have new, then in review, then approved or rejected or on hold type of a business process flow for these projects. And we're doing prioritization within this tool as well, where you can very quickly ask some questions such as, what's the impact on our corporate strategy of delivery of this project? What's the risk of delivering on this type of project? And then calculating a prioritization score, taking those responses from this form, applying a weighting to them, and finally making a determination of what the prioritization could be or should be for this particular project. And then together with a financial estimate or a benefits estimate, we have sufficient information to enable at least a very high level prioritization of a list of these newly submitted projects and these requests for work to be delivered within the environment. Now let's think about portfolios and programs and projects in this stack of portfolio management that I'm showing on the left. All of these new requests that are coming in might be associated with a specific portfolio or a program. So at the start of your financial planning periods, start of your year, you may have a series of active portfolios that you build out, key strategic drivers, if you would, to which you are investing money and resources in order to achieve specific benefits. So if I look at one of these active portfolios, such as cloud and mobile first, you'll see a similar layout to what the project request forms look like, where we're seeing a portfolio view showing general information at a very high level about this portfolio, a business case description, and some description of the overall purpose behind this cloud and mobile first portfolio. We see when it starts and when it's due to be delivered on, the type of goals associated with this, such as transformation or growing the business or just simply running the business. And then of course we can gather other information about this portfolio as you start to think about where your investments are going within your particular group. So here we have financials showing an all-up budget for the project, or for this portfolio rather. We have associated some projects to this portfolio, and right now they have associated costs of $5 million against a $9.5 million budget, with remaining budget allocation of approximately $4.5 million available. We're seeing some estimated benefits, and so far, with the investments we're making in the associated projects so far, we're anticipating $7.9 million in project benefits. Got an ROI for the portfolio and for the projects associated with it as well. So what's the status of the portfolio? We see here we have overall health and financial health type indicators, the number of active projects associated with this, how many are at risk and how many are off track, other types of information about this. And then as we start to think about drilling down that stack from portfolios into programs, you'll see here that we have 3 programs associated with that portfolio. Now I'm going to click through and open up this world-class customer support program, but if I wanted to, I could navigate directly to it from this programs link, viewing a list of the different programs. I've drilled down from that cloud and mobile first, and now I'm in world-class customer support, similar type of layout, a general tab to collect general information about this program, a financial tab showing us, again, budget estimates, benefit estimates, etc. for this particular program, the status of this with slightly different indicators just to give you an idea of the different types of presentations we can provide with this solution. And then finally, we drill down and we can start to look at the actual programs that are associated with this particular portfolio. So what I've done is I've taken you through that whole stack of portfolios, programs, and then right down into projects where we're delivering on some specific projects that have gone through that whole project request proposal, into the portfolios and into the programs. And we'll take a quick look at the details of one of these programs now before we take you to the logical next step, which is portfolio analysis. So on this screen, I'm showing the details of one of those requested projects that support customers using mobile project. Here we've transitioned it out of the project request page and into an active project. We're gathering additional information to help you with this decision-making process around whether or not this project made sense or makes sense for delivery. On these screens, we're showing a business case for the project, descriptions, a value statement, and then some prioritization metrics that we saw earlier that impact on our key strategies or the risk of delivering this project with a calculated prioritization score. Finally, estimating your resource requirements and your financial requirements for these projects is key and important to being able to establish a plan for delivery of these projects. So if I look at my financials page here, I've made some estimates as to the overall costs that I anticipate for delivery of this project. This is our OnePlan tool showing different cost categories and anticipated types of expenses, CapEx or OpEx, across a proposed timeline for this project. Now here we're seeing a month-by-month roll-up. We can, of course, change that to be quarterly or yearly. We could look at a next 5-year plan if we wish, or just next year so we can provide those estimates. We can then use this grid in very much the same way as you would use maybe Microsoft Excel to just very quickly type into that grid and change some of those cost estimates month by month as we're anticipating when we're going to incur specific costs. Again, this is not in an external tool such as Excel, it's directly within the OnePlan adaptive PPM environment. All of the data is being maintained here, integral to that solution. So we're able to gather information about finances, labor and resource estimates within the tool, and overall make some decisions around whether or not this project makes sense for the organization. In the next step, I'll show you the portfolio analytics that we're able to do consuming this information that we've entered in the individual projects data pages in a portfolio analytics view. So let's transition now to the portfolio analyzer. Now we took a view and a look at this earlier in the presentation where we examined a list view, a board view, and a roadmap view. This interface is essentially has two main types or main purposes. One is for reporting on the status of these projects. We can go through and look at a grouped portfolio view of the different projects that are in flight or proposed or maybe even perhaps closed already. We can consume different types of information about these projects, a financial view, a schedule summary view, etc. And of course, we can easily build new views within this interface on the fly for self-service BI reporting. I could add additional columns or change the layout, the filtering, and the configuration of these views, and then save that for myself as a personal view. Now within this tool, I want to again repeat that we're able to expose plans and projects from a variety of different types of work management tools. We see projects being delivered with Project Professional. We see some of them are being delivered with Project for the Web. And of course, there's Azure and Jira mixed into the same type of view. I showed earlier a glimpse into the board views. And just to drill into that a little closer, you'll see here that we have different ways of grouping the data. Any of the key data elements about those plans that we have in our OnePlan tool can be used to group the information. So if I switch to a portfolio view, we'll see all of those plans grouped together portfolio by portfolio. If I'm not satisfied with the information that's on these cards, I can very quickly drill through here and add risk to those cards on the fly within this interface without having to call the PMO to make changes to this specific report. And then if we change to the roadmap view, I can do similar types of actions by grouping by, for example, business units, and then changing some of the coloring on this screen to reflect not color by overall health, but maybe coloring by financial health within these same screens. So it's easy to manipulate the data, to take a look at a list of proposed or active plans within these interfaces to apply new grouping, coloring, or filtering to this tool to do self-service BI within this single active interface, our OnePlan adaptive PPM solution. So let's talk about prioritization and how you prioritize those newly proposed projects that have come in. Now, we provide multiple ways and methods through which you can do prioritization, including lean prioritization, where the attributes about those projects that we're using are more aligned to a lean or a scaled agile type of approach. In this case, if I open up the prioritization view within this list interface of our OnePlan portfolio analyzer, you'll see that those same questions we asked when projects were being requested are visible within this view. What's the strategic alignment of those projects? Is it going to have an impact on lowering costs, or what's the risk? And then we've established a prioritization score for these projects based on the results of answering those questions, kind of an over-under type of visualization showing anything that's a prioritization of 50% or more, or scoring 50 points or greater within this tool. So the configuration of those different questions that are being asked, how you calculate that prioritization score, all completely configurable within the tool. We'd work with you for an initial implementation, but if it changes year over year, it's very easy for each and every organization to reassess how their portfolios are being prioritized and how they're delivering on an effective portfolio based on the best metrics that your organization is able to determine. So if I go into prioritization mode, where I click the button to add prioritization, I'll first show you that we can do prioritization based on plain old manual drag and drop. Everyone's seen this where the CEO steps up and says, VoIP phones is not number 4. I want to move it down on the list and do a manual override to the way we're doing prioritization in this tool. I can drag this one up and then drag another one of these down and very quickly reorganize the order of these projects and the prioritization we're seeing within this tool. The next thing that we're able to do within this tool, if we wish, is to focus our prioritization on specific areas of the business. So I can filter my view to show, for example, projects by a specific portfolio. If I only want the projects in this standardized on 3 software platforms portfolio, I can simply filter that view down to there. Or if I want to focus instead on cloud and mobile first, or mix that in with application development, you can very quickly do that filtering. Or maybe I want to group by program and do my prioritization that way. Or I go to by business unit, and I maybe want to focus just for this moment on the projects within the IT department for a prioritization exercise. But if we look at the entire portfolio and we do some prioritization thinking for an all-up portfolio approach across all business units and all departments, here we have a long list of projects for which we've gathered information related to 2 additional key aspects for prioritization type exercises. And the first one, of course, is money. How much of these plans, how much of these proposed projects going to cost, and do we have enough budget within the target period that we're examining to be able to deliver on this proposed portfolio? So here on screen, we're seeing in the lower half now the financial plans that we've built out for these various proposals. And we see over time when we think we'll be spending that money rolling up at the top into a total month by month. And again, I could consolidate this down to quarterly or yearly with a budget total estimate for all of those plans. So how do we know whether or not that's going to fit our estimated budget for, in this case, fiscal year 2019? Well, I overlay our target for this year. We see we've spread our money across the year, not always evenly. Sometimes we have more budget in specific months, with a total of only $5.3 million within that budget for fiscal year 2019, and plans totaling 7.1. So we're way overspent at this point. But if I wanted, all I'd need to do is scroll down this list and start removing some of these projects from this portfolio, just deselecting them manually. And you'll see as soon as I start doing that, that budget number in the lower half of the screen reloads, And we're now starting to see we're getting a little closer to that estimated budget or proposed target for fiscal year 2019. We've got a better fit now with less red and less yellow highlighting in that grid, and closer to our targeted budget. So we can very quickly do financial budgeting and financial planning after having built out, at least at the very high level, a time-phased financial plan for these projects. The next thing we can do within the tool is we can then start to consider resources and resource requirements. So having built out a resource estimate for those same projects in a similar fashion to which we do financial planning and financial estimating for those plans, we now have a resource view showing us over time for the fiscal period that we're considering. And I'll take that to this year, showing January through to December for this year, where we're green, yellow, and red with those various types of resources. I can group this view together by role to show us where our developers, business analysts, or support type resources are required. And then of course I can very quickly eliminate some of these other columns, show the full year requirements for those resources, drill down into, for example, our developers, take a look at where some of these resources are allocated, and very quickly start to make some decisions as to whether or not we can deliver on some of these projects based on over or under allocation for those specific types of resources. So we see where we're in trouble with the highlighting shown in red. We see where we're going to get in trouble with some of the yellow heat map indicators. And of course, green is good, showing us that we're still under allocated for those various periods. And then the final thing that's worth considering as we examine a portfolio of proposed projects is to start to look at Gantt views. And we include also the ability to look at when these projects are going to be delivered. I'll zoom into a quarterly view here. And then we enable you to drag and drop some of these proposed projects to very quickly get a new view in the lower half of the screen of what the impact of rescheduling or moving those projects further into the future or moving them ahead in time as well, and the impact on that resource plan and financial estimate as well for those various projects will be. So again, we've got a comprehensive portfolio analysis approach, taking finances, resources, or manual override on those various proposals or those projects that we're considering, and implementing that in this portfolio analytics tool set to enable your organization to quickly build out a scenario and then save that scenario for the proposed projects that you have enough time, money, and resources for into a safe scenario for delivery for this current and upcoming year. Now, having made some decisions around which portfolios make sense, which projects and plans we're going to go ahead with, let's dig a little deeper in the actual delivery of these projects. So earlier we were looking at that social networking integration project. We built out the business case for it. We examined some other aspects of that particular project. So if we take a look at the tasks that we're considering within the delivery lifecycle of that particular plan, here you'll see that we've built out a comprehensive schedule for that social networking integration plan. And we've got a variety of different tasks that we are planning on tackling with that. If I navigate to another one of those projects within this environment, for example, the support customers using mobile project, I can very quickly open up that project. And we'll see here that that particular plan has not only a plan that we've built out for task assignments, resources, and finances, but as we dig a little deeper into it, we're going to see that we're not only doing work delivery and work management within our OnePlan environment, but we're also managing a full and comprehensive schedule using, in this case, Microsoft Project Desktop. So here's my entire work breakdown structure for this project. I expand that out and I see all of the different tasks that we're tackling, start and finish date, and information about the status of those, who's assigned to those various tasks, etc. But this particular project, as it turns out, is not being delivered within our OnePlan environment. This is where our integration story comes together. You'll see here that this particular project is being connected and managed within Microsoft Project Professional. So we have a visualization of it available to you here within this Microsoft Power Apps adaptive PPM environment. But I shall see right now as I drag this plan across, here I am using Microsoft Project Professional to manage the entire scope of this plan. And through our OnePlan integration to Microsoft Project Pro, we're able to save that plan into the OnePlan adaptive PPM environment and then start to roll up the reporting about this individually managed plan directly into that same reporting interface using either our OnePlan Portfolio Analyzer or our Power BI reports to deliver that. So that full capability for doing task management is available within the tool. Finally, we don't only mix in project for this particular plan, but if I switch to a different work type, such as a backlog view, here you'll see a different way of visualizing tasks within this view, where we're thinking not in terms of a waterfall approach, but we see here features, user stories, tasks, and bugs. As it turns out, within that same environment, within that same support customers using mobile project, we have not only a project being managed with Project Desktop, but the integration also exists here to Azure DevOps. So this is truly an adaptive plan within an adaptive PPM environment. I can open this item within ADO that allows us to connect directly through to a Microsoft Azure DevOps environment, see that support customers using mobile epic that's happening there. I can look at it in the backlog view. I can drill down into that support customers using mobile, see all of the different features, go through here and see all of the different user stories, the tasks and bugs that we're working on. Of course, this is being managed by that Agile team. But if I navigate back to our OnePlan environment, you'll see here that we've got visibility and accessibility into the status of that plan directly within ADO. Now, again, the theme today is flexible tool choice, allowing your teams to work with the tools that are most closely, adapted or closely related to the type of work that they're doing, if it's waterfall or if it's agile. And so here in this particular plan, I'm showing that we can build out a task list directly within OnePlan, or if you wish, here's how we can connect this to a variety of different tools. So I click Connected Systems. In this case, we haven't yet connected this social networking integration plan to another type of work management tool. So I'll take social networking integration. Maybe I wish to deliver this using Project for the Web. Maybe I'm going to deliver this using Office 365 Planner or Project Professional. So directly from within this OnePlan adaptive PPM environment, you can start with general information, a business case, financial and resource estimates for any of these plans, go through a portfolio management approach, and once approved, leave the decision or the choice about the type of project and work management tool that the individual who's going to be delivering the project wants to use. We can leave it with them and in their hands so they can pick a tool that's best suited to them. And of course, we can do the same thing should we pick an agile approach to this type of work. Like click that Connected Systems button to connect this social networking integration project to that. You'll see here that we've built out in this demo environment connectivity to both Jira or Azure DevOps so that we can enable a backlog type of approach so that agile teams can work, like I showed you a moment ago, within that Fabricam environment for social networking and the support customers using mobile project, a different type of tool for managing your projects. So we'll move now to how you bring this all together using Microsoft's collaboration platform. You'll see here within my browser view, I'm now looking at Microsoft Teams. So of course, Teams is Microsoft's work management interface of choice, where we're able to consolidate information from a variety of different work management tools. It might be plain old Outlook, where you're managing a calendar and a list of activities there, a day-to-day schedule of activities that you've got planned for yourself within a calendar. Of course, we have chat-enabled voice over IP calling within this tool, file management, etc. And here I'm showing you that for this software development project, I'm able to manage a project directly within Microsoft Teams using the new project for the web, the board views, functionality within that tool, timeline views, and other views through which we can properly manage a backlog or a small project using Project for the Web, use that tool to manage the delivery of these activities for this software development project. If I navigate through to the VoIP Phones project and the general tab for that, I'll show you that we can also expose information coming from OnePlan within this tool. So here I have a VoIP Phones project being delivered using our OnePlan solution, and then we can expose the entire plan directly within Teams. So manage not just general conversations amongst team members, focusing on files or on your actual work that you're delivering on. Here we can actually see the schedule for this VoIP Phones project and the delivery and management of that within this tool. And then finally, for your ePMO, or maybe for an Agile PMO, perhaps you want to consider building out additional teams and additional channels within those teams to enable an enterprise work management platform, which again can be brought together within Teams. So with that, I'll take you through to a quick wrap up of the webinar and a summary of what we've seen. We have a couple of special offers for you today as well. The first thing is that we've seen today how our OnePlan tool as an adaptive PPM solution can help bring together work from a variety of different work management tools. If your organization is using Project, or if you're using Planner, or maybe Azure DevOps for scheduling an Agile or a traditional waterfall type of approach, OnePlan can enable the delivery of all of those tasks and activities across those different tools and bring all of that together in a comprehensive single pane of glass type view, if you would, within our OnePlan solution. It's a modern user experience that we've brought together using Microsoft's Power Apps platform, storing data in their common data service as a common repository for all projects and work. So it gives you a streamlined execution approach, a better user experience, and better collaboration across all areas of the business. So we're having great success with this. Kiewit is one of our customers, a Fortune 500 company based in Omaha, Nebraska. It's privately held, and it's one of the largest construction and engineering organizations in North America. We'll be sharing these slides after the webinar, and so I'd encourage you to read about this case study, the benefits that the customer saw, and this quote from one of our clients at Kiewit about the success they've had with the delivery of a OnePlan-based adaptive PPM solution. Quick word about Microsoft. We're a joint venture with Microsoft in 2002 with about 6,500 global employees. Our PPM practice is much smaller than that, with a number of different locations, new office soon to be opened in London, and then an extensive network of partners that we're working with across the globe to enable OnePlan sales and success with customers in their various geographic regions. So if you'd like to work with us to examine how our OnePPM adaptive project management approach can help you, we'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to get together and work through a quick strategy workshop with you to review how you are today using Project Online, Project or other PM tools, assess what your requirements and future state requirements are, and then determine how we can help you implement this in the new Project for the Web and a Power Apps solution using OnePlan to consolidate all of this information. If you're more interested in maybe kicking the tires yourself first, please go to www.appsource.com and Microsoft Managed Application Distribution Point. Search for OnePlan on that environment, and please sign up for a free trial of our OnePlan for Adaptive PPM. You don't need to go see your IT organization to do this. The software is delivered on our environments. All you need to do to get access to that particular environment is to have an Office 365 account through which you can authenticate into the environment. So our next steps, again, please consider having a PPM roadmap discussion with us. Examine whether or not you want to sign up for your own trial or maybe have a one-on-one trial that we can coach you through of our OnePlan solution. And of course, our account executives and our sales team are available to give you a personalized one-on-one demo for your organizations if you need a little one-on-one attention for yourself, your PMO, or your executives to be able to see how OnePlan and a Power Apps adaptive PPM solution can help you. This and upcoming webinars, as well as previous webinars, are all available on demand, and a list of them shown at us.wickersoft.com/webinars. And if you want to get in touch with us, you can either email our general sales alias at contactus@wickersoft.com or reach out to me directly at dwellsby@wickersoft.com. I want to thank everyone for their time and attention today. We will be emailing out a copy of these slides and a link to the recording in the next couple of days. Thanks for your time and have a wonderful day.